Hey, Grit and Gracers, happy hump day. We are one day closer to Friday. I'm so excited. I feel like I say that every weekend, but every week I'm super excited to get to Friday. So we're getting there. I feel like I have not posted a video in forever. Life just kind of got in the way for the last week or so. So I am back and I'm following up on my last video where we talked about the top five, red flags in relationships. I'm going to follow it up today with the top five green flags, things that we should be looking for, things that if our partner, whether you're single and it's something you need to start looking for in people in the future, or you're talking to somebody, maybe dating, and you're looking to see if they are a potential partner that can kind of continue into your future, then maybe these things will help you scout some of those things out. So, without further ado, the first one I came up with is emotional intelligence. So, what this looks like is somebody who is in tune with their own emotions. And by being able to be in tune with their own emotions, they are also in tune with yours. So, in some relationships and kind of life in general, we have come across people that have been taught that emotional intelligence is not a thing. We don't open up to people. We don't let people into our world when it comes to an emotional place because maybe it makes them weak or they're worried of being judged. Whatever the case is, we really want to look for people who are able to talk about stuff. Some people don't talk about things right away. They need some time to really process their emotions, their thoughts, maybe whatever situation they're going into. But in the end, we want them to be able to open up to us and talk to us about whatever it is they have going on. This is where a relationship is really going to build. You're building trust. You're building team, like a team mentality. It's not me against the world. It's this is my person. This is my partner. This is for, right now at least who I'm choosing to do life with. And so having that emotional intelligence is going to be huge. If you've had relationships where that has been missing, then you know how important it is to have somebody that we feel that we can grow with and open up to and not feel that they're going to shut us down or that they're going to shut themselves down when it comes to being able to share that part of each other with each other. The second one is going to be that we're open to communicating. So kind of goes along the same line with emotional intelligence. If we are struggling to communicate, to me, communication is like trust. You don't have a whole lot without it. If it's misunderstandings, if it's things that could have been handled in any other way, then when we don't communicate, we don't have a whole lot. We're assuming that we're on the same page and we may be chapters apart. So this open communication also looks like when there is problems or iffy moments in relationships, it's not me against you, it's us against the problem. And again, if you've had this missing in past relationships, you know how important it is to have those things present, to be able to communicate in all of the ways, not just about the bad stuff, but what do we want to have in the future for ourselves and our relationship together. If we don't really know, then you might be with somebody who doesn't want to get married, doesn't want to have kids. But if we haven't communicated that, then it's just assumptions that we're on the same page and that things are going in the right direction. And again, like I said, we may be chapters apart, screw pages apart. We are chapters. We're light years away from being on the same page. Also important in communication is what you're looking for as far as the relationship itself. Are you looking to take things slower? Is that other person maybe looking to take things at a faster speed? We have to be comfortable in those relationships and communicate what we want versus what they want and make sure that we can give that to each other. The third thing I came up with is that they're actually mentally, emotionally, physically, even spiritually available for a relationship. And so this might be a hot button topic. I'm not sure. So if it is, don't come for me. I'm just giving you a different perspective. Is that person, did they just get out of a serious relationship? Are they going through the process of a divorce? All of those things are things that we need to be able to know. Are you available for a relationship? most people don't, when they're coming out of a serious relationship or marriage, they don't necessarily want to get into a serious relationship right off rip. Reason being is that they're trying to kind of figure out who they are outside of that relationship that they just got out of, especially if it was a long-term situation. You're finding out who you are outside of being a husband or a wife. You are learning what it's like if you've moved out of that home that maybe they shared together. What is it like to come home to an empty house or an empty apartment, condo, whatever? And what is this new chapter going to look like? If we're jumping from one serious committed relationship to another, sometimes we have to ask the hard question of why. Is it more of that person trying to avoid the awkwardness, loneliness of being alone and not having a family to come home to, or a wife or a husband to come home to? Or are they really genuinely ready? I know sometimes, especially in long-term relationships or marriages, there's times that the relationship itself maybe emotionally was gone and had been gone for quite some time, even physically when it came to like the intimacy level of that relationship may have been gone for a long time, but there's a huge difference between being done mentally, emotionally, and then being done physically when you're realizing what that world is going to look like without that person. So sometimes I've seen it, unfortunately, in counseling where people are trying to fill a void and that relationship that they get into ends up being a rebound. If both people are aware of what that is and they're on the same page and they're good with it, then continue on as you want to. But if one person, particularly the person who did not just get out of the serious relationship, is really looking for somebody that they can grow and build with, the person who just got out of a relationship may not be able to meet those needs, or they may not be able to meet them for the right reasons. And so sometimes that's going to end up causing us bigger problems down the line. So sometimes it's good to just be friends with somebody for a little bit, see where it goes, build from the ground up. If it continues to flourish into a healthy, happy relationship, then that's amazing. But maybe don't put the cart before the horse, if you know what I mean, when it comes to moving on too quickly. And again, why we're moving on so quickly. Number 4 is that they actually care to get to know you. Sometimes we get into relationships or dating somebody that they're telling us all about themselves, or maybe we feel like we're having to pull information out of them and we're not really getting that reciprocated back to us. We're making the effort, they are not. And that's a very frustrating place to be, because we're questioning, are you shy? Are you nervous? What's going on? Or you just don't really care. So having the person that wants to get to really know you, the core you, and what your goals are, dreams are, wants are, wishes are, that's a really good feeling. And again, it's another thing that builds our trust, it builds our communication, it builds our feeling safe within that relationship. And the last one is being willing to have emotional, spiritual, mental intimacy with somebody, not just physical intimacy. Sex is a great thing. It's really what, in a lot of ways, is going to separate a friendship from a relationship. And for a lot of people, the physical intimacy is extremely important, but it shouldn't be everything. And so if you find that this new person that you're dating or spending time with always leads back to the bedroom, then that's going to make us question like the solidness of that relationship and what do we have outside of that situation. So they're not just looking to jump into bed with you, but they're actually looking to be, you know, somebody that is going to take you on a sweet date. You could be broke and have a sweet date. You can eat PB&Js by candlelight and still sit there and have just as good of a time, if not more, than if you went to some fancy restaurant. It may not be about that person going and buying you fancy jewelry. It could be writing you a card that says, hey, I was thinking about you today. You're important and you're valued. And that brings a lot of closeness and togetherness that other things just won't. So if you have any other things to add to this list, definitely drop them in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you're missing this in your relationship, maybe have that conversation, open that door to what do we need to do to get this on track? Are we able to get it on track? Because they are definitely top tier things that we should be looking for. All right, guys, until next time, have a good one.